China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man.
Today's video sponsor is GVG Mall, bringing you all the software deals you need, like Windows 10, Windows 11, Office 2021 with a new Windows 11 design, and even Windows Server 2022. For all of these, you can use my SKG discount code for 25% off, getting a Windows 10 serial key for only $16. Then use the key on your Windows settings and you'll have an activated system. Hello guys, this shit gameplays, I'm Fabio Pisco, and welcome to PC Doctor Season 1, Episode 2. I did this on purpose, by the way. It's actually good. And in this series, I'm actually receiving emails from viewers where they send their computers, their builds, their battle stations, call them whatever you want, so that I can give them tips, advices, or if they have problems, hence the PC Doctor, if they have problems, I can actually fix most of them via this video, okay? I won't be able to fix all of your problems, but I will most likely be able to actually find the root or the cause of your issues, and you may be actually able to fix them with some of my tips, okay? I'm no Jesus, although I look like one, I'm no Jesus, but all I do basically is to help you in the long term, or if I can, in the short term. And also, I was just gonna do one episode per month, but since I received so many emails and I don't like to keep people waiting for so much time, so 1 month, I actually decided to do one episode every 2 weeks, so 2 episodes a month, okay? Hence this being the second one. So, as for the emails, let's start with the Jake B email, okay? From Jake B, this folder has a bunch of pictures, a video and a description of what's going on with my PC, but the too long didn't read is my graphics card is loud. Hopefully this makes it in. Yes, it did, Jake! First of all, you have a Zotac version, and from what I've seen on the previous generation cards, so the 3000 series Nvidia and so on, because Zotac only makes Nvidia cards, okay? Like Sapphire only makes the AMD ones. We have Zotac doing the RTX cards, and from what I can see, this is one of the 3000 series cards, and once again, people told me, because I don't have one, I only have the Zotac 4000 series, and they are actually pretty nice with the 4070 Ti, but for the 3000 series I heard their coolers are not that great, and that may actually be the issue, okay, so the cooler is just not great. Okay, overall the build looks great. I do love these cases from Fantex. Very high quality, and overall the build looks great. Okay, you have the AIO on the top. Okay, so kind of exhausting. Okay, that's nice. Let's go to the next one. These coolers are from Thermal right? Thermal right. Okay. Now, what I find missing here is an exhaust fan here on the rear. So you should actually focus on getting an exhaust fan because it is really important. Not only I do know that you are kind of exhausting here, or at least make a fan pulling air in. So instead of exhaust, do intake, because you have three exhausts on the top. And you kind of have like neutral airflow, and that's not that great in terms of temperatures, and also not great in terms of dust inside the case and so on. So you have 3 fans actually putting air in, so 3 fans intake and 3 fans exhaust. And you'll get lots and lots of dust in the radiator as well. What I advise is, if you don't want a negative pressure, so if you don't want to use the exhaust fan here, just go use one intake, and in terms of VRMs on the motherboard and so on, it will actually help a lot. And even in your graphics card it may actually help a little, since you're actually putting more cool air inside your build, okay? That's the thing. So if you take off the side panel and the temperatures are like, let's say like 2, 3, 4 degrees cooler, well, that's normal. But if you take the side panel off and you have like 10 degrees less than you have, then your case airflow is poor and you need to kind of redo it. I would put the 360mm radiator in the front, and I would use intake air for the radiator, and then all these fans here, I would put 2 fans here more, so one in the rear and 1 or 2 in the top, as exhaust. That would be me, okay? Now, as for the next photo. Yeah, very nice looking build, by the way. I like it. Okay, once again. Yeah, 3000 series, I believe. Fantax, it just looks good. It just looks good. Well done, man. If you were the one actually mounting the PC, it looks good. Yeah, cable management is not bad at all. It just looks good. Can't complain. Now, as for the next one. Nice. This is a nice build. So, kind of a simple but very nice build where you have an L-shaped, how do I say in English, an L-shaped table. In Portuguese we say secretária, which is kind of the table, but a specific table for work or for your computer. But yeah, it just looks very good with a normal 27 inches, I believe, monitor, or 24 inches. Your usual PC, Star Wars there, a gaming chair that, well, it is what it is, but it just looks good. Yeah. Nice. Side panel opened. Everything seems okay to me. 4 RAM sticks, so you're running dual rank. The connections seem well. Okay, 2 separate cables, maybe, I believe. If you don't have 2 separate cables, just start using them because it's a must. And yeah, basically that's... We even have a video. Yeah. What I advise you firstly is to actually use WAGinfo64, go to the specifications, use the software when you're gaming and when your graphics card is actually being loud. Use the software and check 2 things. Check the... Sorry, it's from the T. Check the hotspot temperatures on your GPU and check the VRAM temperatures as well on your GPU, okay? Because although, for example, your core temperatures might be, let's say, 65 or 70 degrees because you didn't give that information, but although your core temperatures might be low, it doesn't mean that your junction, which is basically the hotspot temperatures, aren't low as well, or that doesn't mean that your VRAM temperatures are low as well. So if you see your VRAM temperatures, let's say, at 110 degrees, then you know that the issue of the fan spinning so much is because the GPU is actually trying to cool off your VRAM and not the GPU core per se, okay? If you also have a really high delta, so a very high difference in between the GPU core temperatures and the hotspot temperatures that you see in WAGinfo64, that means that you need to repaste your GPU. So what you can do right now is to check what's the issue with WAGinfo64 and you can repaste your GPU or you can improve the overall airflow of your case. But if you have your GPU for, let's say, 2 years or close to 2 years, maybe a repaste would be it. But I do believe that maybe the issue is actually the VRAM temperature that is too high. So once again, if you see the VRAM temperature 105, 110 degrees and your core temperature and junction or hotspot temperatures are low, then it means that the GPU is trying to cool off your VRAM, hence doing a lot of noise. If the noise you're talking about is from coil whine, then you might actually need 2 separate cables if you're not using them here. Okay, 2 separate cables from the PSU, or maybe to get a new PSU. That's all. And the second one is from Buckeye Deku. Deku from My Hero Academy, maybe? I don't really know, but it seems like. So this is the system I built. I built it 1 year ago with a 5600G processor and no graphics card. 8 months later, I bought the RX 6700 non-XT graphics card, and this month I replaced the processor with a 5700G with a larger air cooler. Okay, bad decision. Sorry to tell you this right away, but it was a bad decision. If you already have the discrete graphics, you don't go and buy a 5700G APU. If you can send it back, just send it, because even, let's say, even let's say 3700 would be almost as fast as the 5700G, because these are APUs and they have less PCI lanes. They only have PCI Express 3 instead of PCI Express 4. They have way less cache, which leads to way less performance and way less high FPS numbers in most scenarios. Even if they are Zen 3, they are way slower. So you could have bought, let's say, a 5600 non-X and it would be much faster than the 5700G, okay? That's it. Okay, but you got the 5700X, the 5700G, doesn't really matter, with a larger air cooler. I do not have any issues. Building a computer is much more fun than buying a pre-built. Agreed. Yeah, boy! So let's watch these photos. So, okay, we have a normal keyboard, I believe, from Red Dragon, which is a brand that we can get in some Chinese websites or non-Chinese websites, but this one is actually nice. Okay, we have, yeah, I have one of these cases and they are very nice. It's from Fantex as well, so very, very nice cases. I actually have one there, the white version. I'm looking at it right now, and it seems nice. Also a Razer key, a Razer, yes, not keyboard, the mouse, Razer mouse. It's the ambidextrous one, I believe. Don't really know the name. Okay, here it is, simple, using kind of an old desk that will actually work pretty nice with your computer build. I mean, it just looks okay. We have a bass here, yeah, for good sound, but you shouldn't. Okay, I don't know where you actually have the your sound system, but if you have like, if it's like 2.1 or even 5.1, you shouldn't have the bass or the bass here, so it should be there in the middle of the other speakers. The sound would just be much better. But overall, well, it is what it is. You even have some foot stands here to rest your feet. That's quite nice, actually. That's quite nice. Okay, it seems nice. You don't have much space for the mouse as well. Same for the keyboard. So maybe I see that everything is quite fine here. Maybe a bigger desk, so get rid of this one. Get a longer desk so you can actually put your computer more to this side and have the base here in the middle. So this would be my opinion from what I see. So we have the Fantex once again. We have the MSI MAG Torpedo, good. A Crucial SSD 2 TB, Western Digital, another one. I have one of these, they are very nice. EVGA 650 watts. These PSUs aren't the best, but they are definitely fine, and it only costs $60, so I mean, it's fine. So we have 32 gigabytes, but you actually bought for the 4 slots. So 2 different kits, which is not advisable at all. And since they actually have different prices, I believe that they have different frequencies and timings, which is not optimal. So once you have different kits, they will actually run at the frequency of the lowest end kits. So if you have one 3200 MHz and one 3600 MHz, they will both run at 3200 MHz. Okay, so tweak it, or you may even have issues and they are just running at 2133 MHz and your performance is way lower than it should be. Okay, overall it seems fine. Oh, you bought the 5700X, not the 5700G. Now you got me. I must say that you actually had me in the first half. Yeah, good decision. So 5700X, good decision. I'm really glad that you actually didn't buy the 5700G, and you also bought the 6700 XT instead of the non-XT, so it's much better. It's actually much better than the non-XT, as you can see in this video. The difference is there. So I mean, it seems nice for me. 27 inches. Yeah, it's a nice build. It's actually a nice build. So once again, we have the back plate with the input-output plate, okay, 2.5G, okay, 2 monitors as seen, some examples of performance, nice. That's a very nice build, I can't really complain. Okay, you have a decent cooling system, not the best, but definitely way better than the stock one. Good build, 5700X, 6700 XT, nothing to complain, just great. The third setup is from Tran. Hi Fabio, I'm currently having a startup problem with my PC. It does not start up right to the Windows after pressing power button, it shuts down just a few seconds after the power button is pressed, then auto turns on and boots to Windows normally. This happens only after the power source is cut completely, like unplug the power cable from the wall. Okay. It works fine if I just shut down without unplugging the power cable. Do you have any ideas how to solve this issue? Well, first of all, I don't see why you would in any case scenario unplug the power cable. It makes no sense. Now, one issue here is that you may not actually have the your battery on the motherboard. It may actually be flawed or at least not completely charged, so you might need a new battery. And once you actually unplug the power from the motherboard, since it has no battery, it won't retain the BIOS settings. And once you turn it on, it turns on, it sees that the BIOS was kind of reset. It's kind of doing a clear CMOS since the motherboard's battery isn't working, so it sees that the settings are first running, at least running for the first time, and then it reboots in order to make things properly, and then goes into Windows after that. So if it just happens after a cutout, it might be the PSU or it might be actually the motherboard trying to make things up. But I don't see any issue there since you actually had the power cut up, but I don't see why you should in any situation just disconnect the disconnect the power cable. It makes no sense, at least for me. So do you have any idea how to solve this problem? No, just don't mind it and don't disconnect the power cable, okay? Just let it there. Or if you are just worried that your PC will break somehow, just get not a PSU, how do you guys say it? It's kind of a mini power supply that kind of takes the shock if something happens, and it serves as a battery as well. I don't really remember the name. Yeah, I see why you actually like to disconnect the power cable. I mean, look at this. You have all your motherboard connections isolated. Even the 3.5mm jack ones. Why? I mean, unless you're living in some city that's really close to the sea and you have a high level of humidity and a high level of, let's say, salt in the air per se, or sodium, this is absolutely not needed. You do not need to do this, and your PC will never break just for having these connections open. It's just not gonna happen, okay? Unless, once again, your air is full of sodium and humidity, okay? It's fine, it looks fine for me. Oh, the thermal right, I just bought one of these. Like some days ago, so this is a really good cooling system, okay? For $50, for $55, it's the best air cooler that you can get. It actually matches the Noctua ones up to like 200 watts, and after that, well, the Noctua wins, but below 200 watts, which is like 99% of mainstream CPUs, well, it's just great. As for the GPU, I sense that we have something of the newer generation here, due to the size of the cooler, something like a 7900 XT, maybe, or the XTX. We have some hard drives here. I myself use one, but I'm slowly changing it to Nvme, so I now only have one HDD of 4 terabytes, and the rest is all NVMEs. And that's the reason why I bought my motherboard, my really expensive motherboard, because it has lots of NVMe slots, okay? But overall it seems fine, okay? The disks, the hard drives here, are kind of messing with the airflow, so the disks will get cooler because you have actually the intake close to them, but on the other hand, the other components will not get as cool because the hard drives are actually stopping the fresh air to go from going to the cooler, to the CPU cooler, and to the GPU cooler. The GPU will get some more because, well, it's lower, but overall, yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say. Oh, you have a PCI slot here filled. I don't really know what this is. Sorry for my ignorance. I don't really know what it is. Okay, nice monitor, ultra wide. I don't really know if it is 29 inches or 34 inches, but it definitely looks good. We have a video. Let's see a video. Okay, let's... This is a video of what's happening. Yeah. Okay. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of time, actually. Okay. From what I see, I think that the motherboard is actually doing the memory training every time that you actually unplug the power, okay? So the motherboard needs to do a memory training, and that's why the booting of the system actually took longer than it should, once again due to the memory training. And that memory training doesn't happen when you don't have the power cut off because, well, it doesn't need to. That's basically how things work. So do not disconnect the power cable of your computer and you'll be fine. Overall, this seems like a normal situation of memory training, but I might be wrong. But it just won't hurt you. It just won't hurt your computer, sorry. So you're fine anyway or another. Now we're getting closer to the final line and we get the fourth build from Jason Hoy. And he says, hi ancient gameplay. It's ancient gameplays, not gameplay. Anyway.
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to... Anyway.
Big fan from Malaysia, oh my brain. I hope this helps, this will help for your content and please feel free to rate my build and maybe few tips to boost it. The parts are the i5-11400F, ASRock Radeon RX 6650 XT Challenger, not bad, the MSI B550M Bomber, never heard of this motherboard, 2x8GB 3200 MHz Kingston Fury RGB, a Kingston Nvme, which is an Nvme of 500GB, another HDD for a game drive. Well, some games may actually stutter due to having your games on the HDD. Some others will be fine, they will just take longer to load, but in terms of actual stuttering while playing the game, while playing your games, they actually might stutter due to having them on your HDD, okay? And I know from experience, you can actually see on this video passing right now on the screen where games like Horizon Zero Dawn will constantly stutter when loading new parts when running on an HDD, and I was running the game on a very fast HDD, so it will get even worse if your HDD sucks. So yeah, that's basically it. So my HDD is definitely much faster than your 1TB HDD and it will still stutter. So if you have these issues, just move your game to the SSD and enjoy it. Okay, Seagate Prime M casing, Gigabyte G24F 165Hz monitor, okay? Initially, I actually had the 10400F with a GTX 1650, but I upgraded well and you did well, expecting to keep it for more than 5 years. Seems good to me, even more since the Malaysian prices are quite high. Okay, it seems okay to me. Just check if the temperatures here on the back aren't that high, because they can actually melt your connectors here with if the temperatures are in fact too high. Okay, so just take that in consideration. As for the cable management, not bad at all. So it's not the best I've seen, it's not the best I do, but it's definitely not the worst I do and not the worst I've seen. So it's okay-ish, definitely. As for the build in the front, now this is the real deal and it looks great. It looks great. For a normal build, it just looks great. So it is indeed a cheap case, and you actually did something quite okay out of this cheap case. So you bought some cable extensions in order to look better, okay? So white, gray or silver, white, gray, and black just looks great. The Radeon, the ASRock Challenger, and SATA SSD. Then you have the Nvme, the 11400F. Well, seems nice. Yeah, very nice system. I do like I do like this this desk. It just looks very nice. Okay, let me see. You're running 3200 MHz RAM, so it's fine. The TRFC is quite high, actually, 560, but well, it is what it is. You can try to lower this value as it will increase your CPU/RAM performance. But I mean, this is just a thing of the overclockers, but you definitely don't need to do it. Okay, Cinebench also decent result for the 11400F. An engine Evan benchmark, an engine, whatever. And yeah, the build just looks great. I don't have much to say. As for the, as for your settings, they seem fine to me. Actually, on the 6650 XT, if your temperatures are fine, you can actually push it way further, okay? You can go maybe up to 2800 instead of 2700 or 2900 like mine. It will just work fine. Okay, it's the 6650 XT. As for the VRAM tuning, you can actually get close to 2400 as well, so in almost any card. So yeah, but the performance difference from the max settings to these won't be that much, and the power draw will be much lower. So yeah, maybe just keep the settings. As for your monitor, 10 bits, HDR, 1080p, 165 Hz. Okay. The peak brightness, Jesus, is not that much, but seems fine to me. There are not really many tips that I can give you. Let me just see the fans on the top. Yes, they are exhaust, and I do believe that you have 3 fans in the front. I can see, but yeah, it seems fine. You can actually take one of these fans because they won't do much. They will just suck the fresh air through the fan before getting to the components. So you can just take off this fan if you have 3 fans in the front. Just use 3 in the front, 1 in the top, and 1 in the rear. This is the best combo that you can get in terms of airflow for mid towers. So that's my opinion here. Nothing really more to say. Great build. And the last PC build just couldn't be from anyone else but the man. Hello there, my user is the man, and here is my PC build. It's different from your usual desk setup. I have the PC hooked up to my TV alongside the Wii U and the Blu-ray player. I don't really have any issues, but I read you'd also give tips to people without issues, and I do, if I can, of course. So I just decided to send mine. Have fun. I definitely give tips to people, but if I can, of course. Okay, Lian Li case, one of the best Lian Li cases, I think, or I believe that this is the LANcool 2, which is nice, or the LANcool 1 maybe. Alright, this is my full build. Current specs are Ryzen 5 5600X. The GPU is the RX 6700 XT reference. I have one of those. Great. Gigabyte B550 Gaming X V2, nice. Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4, very nice cooler, the Dark Rock Pro 4. As for the RAM, we have 2 kits, so yeah, this is not that great. This is not that great because you have 2 different kits, so you have 2 times 8 GB and 2 times 4 GB. And what I advise here is to actually use the 2 times 8 GB, so use the bigger RAM kit in your slot 2 and 4, because those are the main slots, so the A2 and the B2, because with these difference in the RAM capacities, you're actually not running dual channel, you're running asynchronous dual channel, okay? So this means that if you have the 2 times 8 GB, so the 16 GB on the slot 2 and 4, A2 and B2, you'll be actually running 16 GB in dual channel, okay, and the other 8 GB in single channel. But if you actually have your smaller RAM kit of 2 times 4 GB in the slots 2 and 4, you'll just have 8 GB dual channel, and the other 16 GB will be in single channel. So what you want to do is to use the bigger RAM kit once again in the slots 2 and 4, so A2 and B2, in order to have 16 GB of dual channel and then the other 8 GB in single channel. So everything else looks fine to me. We even have a sound card, which is not that usual nowadays. HWD Black, sorry. Intel P, blah blah blah, Nvme, SATA SSD, The PSU is not that great, I believe. I don't really even know the brand, so I would advise getting a better PSU if you start having issues. If everything is fine, just let it be. But if you start having issues, maybe a better PSU can actually fix those issues, okay? As for the build, once again, so here in the top you have one fan intake. So you have intake from there, this fan. So it is using the air from here to push through the CPU cooler, and then this fan is actually going to exhaust the air in here, which is okay. As for here, you do not have any kind of exhaust, you have an intake, so you're pulling the air from the outside of the case to there, so cool air here and the fresh air through there. It's not bad, it's not bad, but I do need to see the front of your case. Okay, it seems fine here. The sound card there, the GPU. Let's see the front of the case. Everything looks fine here. The cable management, once again, it's not the best, but it's not even close to the worst. Yeah. Once again, cable management pretty decent, can't complain. I just want to see the So right here is the back, the glory of all cables, and well, I tried. Yes, you tried. It's quite nice actually. Close up, it's a huge mess. It wasn't really a huge mess. It's fine here. HDMI cable. Yes, one HDMI 3 display ports. Yeah, I do like the stand. The stand looks fine with a TV and so on. It just looks fine. What I wanted to see is this, basically. So we have 3 fans in the front, confirmed. Maybe it's like in the first, yes, because we have 3 fans in the front. I could actually seen the first picture, but I didn't. I just didn't notice. But well, 3 fans in the front, and we have 2 fans here. Okay, so you are actually using 4 fans intake and just 1 fan outtake, and it is not advisable. I would advise you to just grab this fan and actually turn it to the other side in order to do it in terms of exhaust, okay? That's what I advise. So exhaust, and 3 intake in the front. Overall, just looks great, can't really complain. Good build you have here. The only thing is actually the fans. Overall, great, no complaints. And so guys, that's all for today's video of PC Doctor. As I told you before, I don't want to make these videos much longer than half an hour. Just for you guys to know, if you have any more doubts over these builds, so doubts about these builds, the Portuguese is taking over. It's in the morning here and I'm kind of woohoo! Anyway, so if you have any kind of doubts, just leave them in the comment section and I will answer as fast as I can as usual. And the next ones to actually enter the next episode of PC Doctor are André Dias, which is a Portuguese name, Jay Ferrão, which I believe is also a Portuguese name, Stephen Dorman, Benjamin Robertson, and Nathan Buff. Okay, these will be the next ones on the PC Doctor. So that's all. Thanks a lot for watching once again and see you in the next video. Once again, any doubts, leave them in the comment section of the PC Doctor series. See you in the next one.